The Point, 98.7 CKPM FM.
I can bring down the house.
Dean Brody bringing down the house. A little bit of country rock music for our friend Dan Mooney, who drove in here from Langley this morning. How are you, Dan?
I'm doing well, Ron. Thank you for having me.
Good. And the drive from Langley was great?
Yeah, a little bit wet out there again this morning, but it's fall time.
Well,
so
it's rained 85 days out of the last 60, so it's just crazy. Now, traffic is your life, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. You're what is your official title?
I'm the transportation manager for the city of Coquitlam.
That's amazing. So you take care of all things transportation-wise, which is your streets, the traffic patterns and that, and you get as far as now the new Evergreen Line.
Yeah, it's an exciting addition to my portfolio.
This is amazing. Now, the SkyTrain is not new to you, is it?
No, I had the privilege of working for the city of Richmond when we constructed the Canada line in there. It was a real game changer, and shortly after that, in fact, shortly after the Olympics, I came over to the city of Coquitlam, and shortly after that, we were advised that the Evergreen line was a go.
Wow, so you were here before you even knew.
Yeah, I had a suspicion. It's something that the city has wanted for many, many years. In fact, I worked for the city of Coquitlam very early in my career in the early 80s, and we were doing preliminary work at that time to try and identify a corridor and establish the high-density residential growth that would attract mass transit to this part of the region.
So I have a question for you, and I'm sure there's about 100 other thousand people out there that have the same question. Why did we terminate the Evergreen Line where it is? Why didn't we take it so it could be extended out into the Maple Ridge Pitt Meadows area?
It's an excellent question, Ron. It probably not for me, but for the province.
Yeah.
But I do have an answer for that. The current terminus, or we prefer to call it the start of the line.
Start, yes.
Is,
yes, that's right, yeah.
is Lafarge Lake Douglas up by the college, the city hall, and our city center area there. There is actually a fork in the line at the Coquitlam Central Station. That's at the West Coast Express Station at Pine Tree and Barnett Lougheed.
Okay.
And at that point, there is a provision for a future extension. There's no commitment to that. There's obviously other priorities in the region at this point, but there is provision there to continue it further east out to Port Coquitlam, Pitt Meadows, and
Excellent.
Ridge.
That's
Yeah.
good to know. The hidden little gem we didn't know about. Now you're here to talk about all this great stuff that we've got, but we're going to focus on the parking because with this movement of people, some people have to drive to the train, right?
Absolutely.
And we have got a couple of lots that have opened up.
Yeah. So there are some bus changes coming. Unfortunately, a lot of those are coming December 19th. There's a new line up to Burke Mountain. But even before then, and certainly after that, there's a number of areas in the city that aren't serviced adequately by transit at this time. So the city of Coquitlam, jointly with the province, have created a number of parking opportunities for the people. The largest one, it's going to be over 1,000 stalls in total now. That's an expansion of the existing parking lot at Coquitlam Central. That's basically in and around the Rona area there. They purchased the old West Coast Auto Wreckers off Aberdeen Avenue, added 350 stalls there, which when combined with their existing lot will provide 1,000 parking stalls at that center. And that center is really the only one in the region that has both, all three. It has hard rail, the West Coast Express, light rail, the new Evergreen Line extension, and then it also has a major bus transit exchange. In addition to that, which is operated by TransLink, the city has two parking lots, each a little over 100 stalls. We had an existing lot at Lincoln and Westwood at the corner there. It's just a short walk to the Lincoln station, about 100 stalls there. And working with the province, we are in the process of finalizing a construction of a 100 parking stall at the southeast corner of Guilford Way and Pine Tree Way.
Now, this is great stuff, but I know there are people out there that are concerned about density. Now, you have that the lot over there you're talking about at Pine Tree and Guilford there, that area, and this is now an area that's not, is it certified high density, or is this going to be a parking lot forever?
No, this is a temporary lot, Ron.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yep. It's a surface lot. We're committed to provide parking in the long term. This is our short-term solution. It's a lot that's owned by the city that has a much better, higher, and better use for it ultimately. Our commitment is that we'll maintain this 100 parking stalls, plus we've got an additional 50 parking stalls on the surrounding streets that are long-term pay and park and ride. And going forward, if that lot were developed or if there was other opportunities within that walking distance of that station, we're committed to providing parking, most likely in a structure. And quite honestly, parking would be ideal if it was offset and used for, say, a theater, or in Richmond we did the casino, the
Yes.
Hard Rock Casino or the River Rock Casino. And that makes a great opportunity for people to park and ride during the day. And then in the evenings, the weekends, when the concerts are on, the casino uses that parking.
And you can see the ever-changing face of Coquitlam and in the Tri-Cities, and especially now the Evergreen Line is here. Now, the big thing, the parking. So there is no free lunch.
Yeah.
There is no free parking.
That's correct.
How much is it going to cost?
So the Coquitlam Central lot operated by TransLink, it is and will continue to be $3 per day. That parking is in effect all times and all 7 days of the week. In the city of Coquitlam, these are not only park and ride lots, they're also available for local service. So we've established a 75 cents per hour to a maximum cap of $3.75 a day. Our parking lots are operated Monday to Saturday. They are free evenings after 6 p.m., and they're also free on Sundays and statutory holidays. So people that are going out using the Evergreen Theatre at night, using the swimming pool on Sundays, are welcome to park there for no charge.
That's great, yeah, because you got all that little area in there. You got the Hoy Scott Creek Hatchery, people like to go visit and that, and then you've got like Douglas College, and you've got the pool and everything, so this is great. Now, the other thing here, when you talk about parking and with the Evergreen Line coming in, you've got businesses that are in the area that have free parking for their customers. I can see a few issues with these, and it's up to them to deal with that, isn't it? Or does the city come on board and help them a bit?
Well, I guess we support each other. I know Coquitlam Centre has gone out and purchased the same type of unit that we're looking at purchasing, an automated license plate reader, so they're responsible for enforcing their regulations on their own property. But out on the streets, we've implemented a number of time-limited restrictions for the commercial businesses so that they can have that turnover of their clients and visitors. And the same in the higher density residential areas, where street parking is really intended for tradespeople, service providers, visitors and guests, people with overheight vehicles that can't get into the underground parkades. So in many of those areas, we've implemented time-limited restrictions, which in the city center go in effect tomorrow, December 1st, with the line opening December 2nd.
Excellent. It sounds like you guys have things under control, and I am fully excited about taking a ride on this train when it gets here. Have you been on it yet?
I did get the privilege of two opportunities to ride the train, one in a test ride about 3 weeks ago, and then this past weekend I worked with the Coquitlam Fire, Port Moody Fire, and a number of the TransLink individuals, including TransLink Police, on an exercise where we had an evacuation on the tunnel.
Yeah, and you've got to do that now, tunnel, because you've got confined space, and so you got your rope rescue, confined space, hazmat teams, everything. So yeah, you got to be prepared for that. That's right. Yeah,
they've done a lot of work the last 3 weekends, and they are fully confident that they're ready to roll first thing or noon. Friday, December 2nd.
Noon Friday, December 2nd. Dan Mooney, what is your official title?
Manager of Transportation.
Now, did you have to go to school and get like an urban planning certificate or something like that? Or do they just say, oh, you're going to be the manager and you learn how to do it? How did you do that? 37 years ago, I started the BCIT Civil Engineering program quite by chance. After 2 years of BCIT, I came out with a diploma in technology and civil engineering, and I've had a 35-year career in transportation and loved it. That's cool. So you're a civil engineer. I guess the grumpy guys are the uncivil engineers.
We're sometimes confused with each other.
Dan Mooney, City of Coquitlam, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Ron, for having me.